I'm glad somebody's got something to say. Huh? Hi, Karen. First one in. There we go. Now you're starting to come by. Hi, Rosemary. Hi, Gary. Hi, Vinay. Hi, Sharon. Decided to start a few minutes early because this guy was already up here making a fuss here. He now knows that if he comes up here while we're doing a live stream, he usually gets rewarded with kitty treats, doesn't he? But only if you stop showing your tail. They want to see your face. There you go. That's better. Meow. You're such a ham. Yeah, he decided to come down and say hi to everyone. He's got a new hiding place now. He hides behind the TV over there. So I was looking around for him. Nibble was up on her shelf, but hi everyone. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, this is the first one I've done in a couple weeks here. Really couldn't do one last week because when I was at my parents' house, last time we tried doing a live stream, the internet was really sketchy. So plus the fact nobody would want to see a live stream if it wasn't for this guy, right? Say hi to everyone. Greetings from Spain. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, we're trying to do these a little bit earlier so that we're not, you know, preventing all of you guys over the pond from getting a chance to participate a little. Come on, you gotta have something to say to them. No? Only if I'm giving you additional treats, right? That's what it's all about. You only love me because of the treats, huh? Right? Yeah, that's what it is. I knew it. Ow! You still haven't learned not to bite the hand that feeds you, have you? Don't have to lunge at it. You're gonna get it. If I fill you up with kitty treats now, you'll go upstairs and we won't see you again. So we got to keep you here. Yeah, well, he doesn't draw any blood, but he gets a little aggressive. He kind of. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate the continued prayers on my father. He had a little bit of a setback a few days ago. The day after he had his TIPS procedure, they had to actually admit him into ICU because his blood pressure dropped really low again, and they were a little concerned. I just got off the phone with him a couple hours ago, though. He seems to be on the mend again, but yeah, it was a little worrisome at the time. I actually found out when it happened, but I haven't really said anything because I didn't really know anything. I got a call from my mom that evening, and she basically said that they were transferring him over to ICU because his blood pressure had gone low, but they didn't really know what had gone on. And I just finally managed to catch up today. So, like I said, he was supposed to hopefully come home a couple of days ago. They were saying 2 days after his TIPS, which was on Tuesday, and they were saying, hopefully on Thursday. But when this happened, it pushed it back a little bit. Now they're thinking he may be home as early as Monday. Kind of have to wait to find out what the doctor has to say, but they're still trying to figure out what exactly happened with the blood pressure. So yeah, please keep the prayers coming. I know my father's watching this one today. I told him I was going to start one at about 2 o'clock his time, so he's probably on here watching. He watches kind of on an iPad and can't always see the comments. I think it probably has to do with the fact that he doesn't actually have a YouTube channel. He just or a YouTube account. So he just kind of comes on here and he can watch, but I don't think he can get access to the comments when they're happening. So if you have anything to say to him, I may end up repeating them for him. Yeah, there's one. Terry in Circles says, hi, Breck's dad. His name's David, by the way. we love you, sweet man, and you're going to be okay. God's got this. So yeah, that's for you, Dad. Jeff Kidd says prayers to you, Mr. Roll. So yeah, you're all in everybody's thoughts, Dad. Ruth Jones Hernandez, prayers for your dad. Yeah. So I'm gonna be repeating a few of the comments just because of, and then of course Byte's up here. What do you have? Do you have anything to say to my dad? Or do you just see a bug that you want to chase? You're like really intently focused on the couch there. I don't know. Thoughts and prayers for your dad. Thanks, VNA. Terry, you're over 300 now. I wouldn't have put you much over 30. Oh, subscribers. Okay, I get it. That was good. That was good that we got you over that. Now we got to, let's get you to 1,000 so you can monetize. Yeah, you got something to say? They're meowing to you. You gonna meow back? Meow. Meow. No, just gonna be that way. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna really talk about that today, Miss Kitty. I was talking to Jordan, and Jordan thinks if I talk about it less, maybe it won't be as much of an issue. So I don't know. It's an experiment. We'll see what happens. But thanks for your support. Thanks, Connie. Yeah, we appreciate the prayers for my dad. Please keep them coming. That always seems to happen, VNA. Everyone tells me that when I meow on camera, their dogs start looking around for it. So yeah, that's an inside joke to all of you with dogs. Meow, meow. And then this guy, he's gonna meow a little bit too, right? You got anything to say? You're just gonna sit there and purr. Yeah, dude, your motor's running. Thanks, Lori. I know my dad appreciates the prayers. Yes, Byte has a very deep stare. Oh, I'm sure that's a tragedy, Terry, that your cats are going for attention now. I'm sure that's really destroying you internally. Thank you, Kathy. My father appreciates the prayers. Cooler in Texas? It's been a little bit. Yeah, I've been noticing that it's getting down into like the low 90s. And I actually looked at the weather, and there's a prediction that in a week or 10 days, it's going to be in the upper 60s. I can't believe that. Now, it's only going to be there for like a day or two, but, I'll take it. I'm ready for a little change. I was talking to my landlord yesterday, and she was kind of explaining to me a little bit about the weather here, and says it should start cooling off a little bit, and we'll see what happens. And then when we get into the winter, it's going to be like the 50s, and then I'm going to be freezing my butt off. 59 in Kentucky this morning. Oh, I could go for a little of that right now. Yeah, I'm not quite to the point where I'm ready to run the heater. I still had the air conditioning on 24/7. Still a little too hot for that. Hi, Kat. Yeah, my father is, I don't know if you heard this. He had a little bit of a setback a few days ago. Day after his TIPS procedure, his blood pressure went really low, and they actually had to admit him into ICU for about 24 hours. But I talked to him a couple hours ago, and he's doing better now. So I think he's kind of on the mend. We're hoping now he's going to be able to come home sometime like about Monday, maybe. So please keep the prayers coming. He told me he's going to watch this today. He can't reply, but I told him I'd read him some of the comments because he can't see comments either. So. Wow, you're really like multitasking there. Football game on the TV and live stream on the computer. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Your birthday's on August 31st. I think I would love having my birthday on August 31st. Yeah, thank you for the prayers, Terry, for both my mom and my dad. I know they appreciate them. Got to keep the throat lubricated here. Any thoughts on my next recipe? Yes, actually, I did one a couple days ago. The video you guys are going to see today is going to be that. You'll have to wait and see, but it was another. It was one that I received, and we did that. And like I said, it'll be up tonight at the normal time. I've been I've been having problems in the last week or so getting to go up at the right time. I've kind of figured out. I think what it is. YouTube has changed its system a little bit. And when I post a video, I say, okay, I want it to go up at this date and this time. And usually, what ends up happening is the time that YouTube sets it up to go up. It starts off. If I'm uploading the video at 3 o'clock and I want it to go up at 8 o'clock, I'll go. It'll give you a list of the times that you can put it up, and it'll start with, since the time now is 3 o'clock, it'll start at 3 o'clock, and then all you have to do is roll down to 8 o'clock. But I think lately what they've been doing is they've got a new system where if you upload it and it'll start at 12 midnight. So if you scroll down to 8, it's 8 a.m., not 8 p.m. So I think that's what screwed me up a couple times. And so I ended up having videos go up like 12 hours early. That happened a couple times this week. Oh yeah, I saw your email, Terry. I just figured it was a glitch on YouTube. I'd seen it too. Um, because I noticed it. I think right before I got an email from you that I had 0 subscribers, and then I go in and look at the analytics. It's like, no, I got the same amount of subscribers. It's just got to be a glitch, and it corrected itself. Yeah, yeah, Todd. I think there were about two of them that went, two or three of them, I think, that went live. I noticed that it had gone live early, and then I'd make it, push it back to private, and that just created more confusion. And so I think the last time it happened, I think the Knott's Berry Farm video went live at 8 a.m., and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to leave it up. I don't really like to do that because then it kind of messes up the numbers from the previous day. And even today, the video from the previous day, its numbers are way down because the next video went up 12 hours early. So I don't know. Yeah, the Knott's Berry Farm was fun. I'm glad I went. It was one of those things that originally I was planning to fly home on that day. Beth had contacted me a couple days early, or had contacted me a couple days earlier on that. And initially I told her, no, I can't go, because she wanted to go on Sunday. And I said, well, no, I'm going home on Sunday, so I won't be able to. And then when it came to getting to the point where I was looking at flights, it was a lot less money if I went on Monday, um, you know, than if I went on Sunday. And if I went on Sunday, there would have been a layover in Las Vegas, and there would have been like a 12-hour between when I left, California when I got back to Texas. And when I went on Monday, it was less money and it was a nonstop flight. So it just made more sense. Double Dog Dare Me. Yeah, I know. That was big when I was a kid. So I was really surprised that Coral and Connor knew that one. I guess they probably learned that from Beth, because I can't imagine that that's still a thing. Although maybe it is. Who knows? Okay, we got our first troll of the day here. Hang on a second. Okay, come on, get over it. Jeez. Okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. Just forget it here. He's gone. Boy, they just keep going here. Boy, they're just, yeah, drink sulfuric acid. Yeah, thanks for commenting, Eric. You're a loser. They just keep going. Yeah, I can't believe it. Just, whatever. Maybe that'll be the only one. You just know that he's got nothing going on in his life. It might not even be a he, but it probably is. And he's jealous. He's probably trying to. Oh, now he's logged in another account. Jeez. Okay, well, you're gone again. He's a loser. I don't know. Maybe he'll log in on another account now. It's the same person, and he goes in and creates. Yep. See. Yeah, he's back again. You got to wonder how much time they waste, setting up all these accounts just so they can go from one account to another and keep harassing you. What a pathetic loser. Keep waiting for him to pop up again because he will. Hi, Tim. Welcome to the fun. Oh, he's clearly got nothing going on in his life, or else he'd be doing his own thing. Like I said, guess how much time. Yeah, see, now he's got another one. That's 4. They think they're funny, but they're just immature children. Probably eating a few too many Tide Pods or something. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, my dad is doing a little better. He had a little bit of a setback, but he seems to be on the mend again. He just his blood pressure dropped a little bit when he after his TIPS procedure. Oh yeah, no bet, Jeff. No bet at all. But I know how long it takes to set up a YouTube account. This guy set up 4 of them just so he could harass me today. He put that much effort into actually doing something worthwhile. He could perhaps, could actually achieve something in life. move out of his parents' basement. Oh, I'm glad you made it, Diana. Yeah, well, I guess I would have to. I can understand why they wouldn't maybe prevent multiple accounts, but you'd think that if you get enough people that were being blocked, from multiple accounts from the same user, it would be a different thing. I personally have a couple of YouTube accounts, so I don't know if I'd want to specifically do that, but I know It's not really easy to do it because you have to have a unique email address because they won't allow you to tie multiple um, YouTube channels to the same email address. So not only has he gone out and created multiple YouTube channels, he's got to have multiple email accounts too. I don't know. Have you been here before, Mike? Hmm. All right. Yeah, possible. Possible, Jeff. Kind of keeping an eye out. Even if it isn't, we're done with him. Yeah, I know. Whatever. That's what this whole live stream, I guess, is going to be about: is me deleting trolls. I can delete them faster than they can create the account. So any new restaurants to try? I tried one today. That will be up, I think, on Tuesday. So yes, there was one. Yeah, of course, it has no content. He's creating these to go and harass people, and that's what's so stupid about it is because it takes so long to set up an account, and it takes me 1 second to delete them. It's not good time spent. Yeah, let's spend 20 minutes setting up a YouTube account just so that I can get blocked in 1 second. And I mean, this guy, if this is the same guy, and I mean, the first three or four were, and if Mike is the same guy again, then that's 5 accounts he set up that took me like 5 seconds to delete. And how much time did he waste doing that? But whatever, he's probably getting a kick out of us talking about him. So whatever, he's a loser. He's gone. I'm over him. Good afternoon, Lorraine. Yeah, I'm kind of keeping my eyes open for jobs. Applying for things here and there. Nothing to report at this point. Somebody's back though, isn't he? He wants more kitty treats. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear him or just see him. Come on, at least come over here so they can see you. You don't get kitty treats when you just stick your nose into the frame. You have to come with the whole body here. Come on. Yeah, see. Almost took my thumb with you that time, didn't you? Yeah, I think I did get all my mom's jobs, but she comes up with them as fast as I can finish them. So I don't know. I would bet if I went over now, she'd have a whole new week's worth of jobs for me to do. Say now you're going to go away again because you got the kitty treats. Now you're done. That's how it is, right? Hi, KJ. How are you? Yeah, thanks. He's a cool cat, Diana. He's my buddy. Yeah, I had to kind of tell my mom, hey, come on, you're creating jobs faster than I can do them here. Let me finish up the last one before you give me another one. My dad says she does that the same thing to him too. I don't know. I don't know if he's about not feeling camera ready today because he's been on camera a few times already, haven't you? Because he's sitting there right now. There he is. Yeah, maybe we'll just leave the camera this way for a while. It'll be the Breck and Byte show. And of course, what do? You turn your back to the fans. Great job. Yeah, we are getting home care set up. My mom is talking to a few people and trying to get that figured out. I guess she called one or talked to one person and didn't really like them, but she's talking to somebody else now, and so I think that's going well. I'm hoping that she'll have something set up by the time my dad gets home. We all kind of agree right now. My dad can't be the primary caregiver anymore. He's got to retire from that one a little bit. Yeah, I have two cats also. The other one's just upstairs on her shelf. Yeah, two cats is about the most I think I'd ever want to do. Before I had Bite and Nibble here, I had one cat, and actually for a very short period of time when Bite and Nibble came, I had three of them, and that was a little too much. But yeah, the other one didn't, passed away shortly after Bite and Nibble came into my life. So we're back to two again, and they've been here for about 12 years. Do I have to pay an upcharge? Yeah, I do. I have to pay a little extra on the rent. It's about $30 a month. Did Byte meet me at the door when he came home? No. If you saw that video of my day of my back to Texas video, that was how I first saw him. Is up on that shelf with Nibble on top of Byte. All right. Well, if you're not going to stare at him, then I'm gonna start being the star again. You want to come and share a little attention over here? That's fine. But yeah, but they don't know about what I've done in this place. They're not going to find out about that until I move out. And I doubt that the people who would come in and check this place would even realize what I've done. Because I mean, for the most part, if you don't actually specifically look at it, you're not going to figure it out. You're not going to figure out that I replaced an outlet. They're not going to figure out that I shortened the rails on a couple of the drawers or repaired one of the drawers or stuff like that. So whatever. I think the most they'll notice is that I'm going to leave little pieces of masking tape on the wall because when I pull the nail holes out, I'm going to patch up the holes, and then they'll know where to come in. It's like where they get hit with the paint. But I think that's going to be the extent of them being aware of anything I did. Although one of the maintenance people came around and happened to see me working on that outdoor lamp, putting it back up the day after I repainted it. I don't think he realized I repainted it, but I've never had a problem with my cats clawing at the sofa. Well, I hope they'll appreciate it. The truth is, they probably won't know how bad this place is or was, because, like I said, when I moved in here, the landlord told me that she considered this to be the showcase of the entire complex. Oh yeah, you're right about the caulking compound. That still drives me crazy, and there's still all sorts of holes in this place that are just filled up with caulking compound. It's stupid. You know, if you don't know how to do it right, then get somebody to come in here. What you don't do is fill up whole drywall holes with caulking compound. Yeah, some of the things they've done here are just crazy. Hi Maria, you're not that late. We've only been going for about 30 minutes. I got probably another 90 in me. We've slayed all the trolls, I think, so. Yeah, well, yeah, it's the joys of being a vlogger. Hi, Cal girl. How are the Smoky Mountains? Are they smoky? Yeah, yeah. It seems to me that's what I've heard. It's like it's more of a marine layer than actual smoke. My dad is improving again. He had a little bit of a setback a few days ago. The day after his TIPS procedure, his blood pressure went a little low again, and they had to move him into ICU. But I think they quickly got control of it, and he seems to be on the mend again. They're hoping right now that he'll be able to go home maybe on Monday. We're hoping on that. You're just over the mountains. Oh, that's nice. 3-day weekend. Yeah, actually, it's been about a 6-month weekend for me. I'm actually ready to go to work. I'm getting a little stir crazy around here. Got a few irons in the fire, but we're seeing what happens. Hi, John from Baja, California. Thanks for stopping in. Hi from Pennsylvania, or hi to Pennsylvania. Got to remember, if I'm reading it, I'm not reading what you say. I got to respond to what you said. So I'm not from Pennsylvania. I'm from Waco. You're from Pennsylvania. In Winnipeg, Canada. Hello, Winnipeg, Canada. I'm in Waco. Waco is kind of central Texas. It's kind of halfway between Dallas and Austin, if you look on a map. I'm glad you made it, Brenda. That's great. Chicago, that's cool. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what the tips will do. Is it stops the paracentesis. Well, I actually talked to the doctor about it. They said, best case scenario, it'll prevent it, but if it isn't best case scenario, it'll still greatly reduce it. So that's a good thing. Whatever that is. He was doing the paracentesis about once a week, and so that will be definitely an improvement. I heard him say today that the doctor came in and was kind of feeling his belly a little bit and said everything feels real soft, which kind of implies that the fluid isn't building up as much or isn't building up at all anymore. So that's a good thing. 20 adult cats and 10 kittens at the same time? That's way too much. You're right. I can't imagine. I struggle enough just dealing with these two. It's good to be back home, KJ. I'm glad to be back here. You gonna come and talk to everyone again? Huh? Is that it? Meow. How's it you got drool on your neck? How does that happen, huh? Explain that to me. No, you keep saying meow. Explain that to me. Yeah, here he is. Down here cuddling her up, mooching for treats, aren't you? That's what it's all about. Meow? Is that all you have to say? That's all you have to say, isn't it? I think he's got to get back out of the hospital and start exercising a little before he gains weight. He's still having an issue with not liking the food they serve him, and I don't know. That just seems really backwards to me, because if you want your patients to eat, the first thing you'd want to do is make the food appealing so that they want to eat. I just got a text from my dad. He can't find my live stream. It's funny, the trolls can find it. Just send him a message here, tell him I am live. So let's see what happens. But yeah, it just strikes me. If you want the patients to eat, you'd think you'd want to make the food appetizing, because you've got a patient that wants to eat and they're not eating. They'd like to, but the food is unappealing. That just sounds counterproductive to me. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, Kelgirl. Food is the key. Hello, Tim. Welcome to the group. Yeah, I haven't ever seen Blue Buffalo. Boy, that's hard to say. Blue Buffalo brand kitty treats. Haven't ever seen those. Keep my eyes open. Well, the thing that kind of made my father really frustrated was that they kept bringing him in spaghetti and meatballs, and my father loves spaghetti and meatballs, but apparently the hospital doesn't know how to make spaghetti and meatballs, and he keeps sending it back, and they keep sending them more the next day. It took us like 3 days to get that canceled. Yeah, I don't know if it was from a can or what. I mean, even canned spaghetti and meatballs can be pretty tasty. But I looked and it didn't look very appealing to me either. I saw it when it came in a couple times. Yeah, generally good appetite for anyone in the hospital is generally a sign that they're improving. There's a cat behind me. Oh no! You hear that? There's a cat behind me. You see it? Where's the cat? Huh? Do you know? I don't know. Is it over here? Let's see if we can find the cat behind me. There's a cat behind me out here. Huh? You see it? Eh? Not interested, I guess. In reality, it's only like half a cat. That is Byte in all his splendor. That's my buddy Byte. He was the one that was meowing yesterday when I was showing video of Nibble. Just seeing if my father has replied again. Thanks, David. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. A lot of you in the comments said that I looked like I was really worn out, wiped out when I was in California. I don't know. I didn't really feel it that much, but enough of you said it that it must have been true. I don't know. We still haven't found the cat behind me, though, have we? Uh-uh. What's on the menu for dinner? I don't know. I got a couple things that because I've in the last couple of weeks I've done two of your recipes and made a lot of both of them. So I'll probably pick one of those two things. Yeah, Knott's Berry Farm was a lot of fun. When's my birthday? I don't really like talking about that. I'm kind of private about that. Sorry. I dropped a little bit of a clue earlier in the conversation. Somebody said their birthday was on October 31st. I said, well, I wish my birthday, it'd be fun to have my birthday on October 31st. So you can conclude from that that my birthday isn't on October 31st. I hope you didn't miss too much work watching Knott's Berry Farm when I was there. So my birthday is soon. I'll put it this way, it's sometime between January 1st and December 31st, and it isn't October 31st. So that narrows it down a little bit. Yep, yeah, 364 guesses left. Of course, next year is going to be a leap year, so it'll be 365 guesses. Now you're trying to pin down what year. Actually, on my first vlog, I told you my age. I said it was 54 at the time. So I'm a child of this. I was born in the 60s, child of the 70s. Yeah, my mom really seemed to appreciate the fan. She only used it like the first day I was there, but it kind of cooled down for a few days. So um, she didn't use it there. I'm assuming that, if the weather goes warm again, she'll use it. She knows how to use it, so that's good. You hear that, Byte? They say they love you. Yeah, but as soon you're right, the Byte is pulling a jaw, but the second that the kitty treats come back, so will he. Yeah, Byte and Nibble are about 12 and a half years old. They're brother and sister. At least I assume so. Yeah, yeah, I've had cats for a long time. They're good buddies. You hear that, Bite? You're handsome. Did you know that? Yeah, I hope I have a few more. I hope I have a few more years in them. Do you get a lot of stray cats? I assume you mean in here in Texas. There's a couple of them that wander around, but I'm guessing they belong to somebody, and they're just allowed to wander around in the community. You had a cat for 19 years? Yeah, I usually run, 12 or 14 on mine. So I don't know. I hope I got some more years. These guys both seem pretty healthy. So wow, somebody from Ireland. Hello, John. Thanks for stopping in. Wow, a Siamese cat that lived till 21. That's pretty good old age. And you have a cat that's 22 and a half. Wow, that's amazing. Sounds like we've got just a competition here. Who has the oldest cat? Current number is 23. Yeah, sometimes I wish my cats didn't talk as much. Uh, Byte has a tendency to wander around the house going meow, meow, meow at like 3 in the morning. It's like, shut up, Byte. Jeez. Maple tree is continuing to do all right. I'm going to be a lot happier when I can get it in the ground. It's been a kind of a rough year for it, but we're kind of getting to the season now where it'll drop its leaves, and hopefully we'll get some new growth next year and it'll do better. I really want to get all the plants in the ground though, because they'll do better once they're in the ground. Hmm. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that 3 a.m. is the best time for talking cats. I'm wondering if my father figured out where the vlog was or where the live stream was. Just send him a message, ask him if he found it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Byte does that a lot too. He'll crawl right onto your lap and then just expect you to pet him. They're capable of love, but it's got to be on their terms. Yeah, I kind of learned that too. Yeah, it's probably my own fault that they talk so much. Because you think about it, if you're a cat living in the wild, the last thing you want to be doing is vocalizing. Because if you're trying to catch prey, last thing you want to be doing is go meow, meow, meow. Well, my dad's usually pretty good at finding the live stream, so in fact, that's what he said when I told him I was going to live stream today. He said, "Oh, okay, well, I can find them." He's not really hip on terms of setting up the account and doing all that stuff, but he said he knows how to find them. So I don't know. Wonder what they're trying to say. I'm guessing it's either feed me or pay attention to me. Yes, I did a restaurant vlog today. It'll be up, I think, on Tuesday. It's already up and posted, but I think it's scheduled for Tuesday. Hello from, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Cozumel? I'm like I'm privy to conversations that are going on here, but I only seen parts of them. You're talking to each other rather than me. Yeah, I always find it impressive too how people, are from all over the world. Yeah, I don't know. I probably ought to come up with some sort of a theme song. You're right. I think the question that the question is got to be something I'd like, and I would hate for somebody to go out and create a song, and I just like, oh, I'm not really into that. I don't know. It'd be kind of weird. And yeah, yeah, Jordan missed me because he was going off on another one of his trips, and I kind of told him, that I was coming in, but that I was going to have to go back before too long, and it just wasn't going to work out this time. Maybe next time. Oh, don't apologize for the private conversations. It's just I'm looking at this and somebody is saying something, and I was like, wait, I missed part of this. What's going on here? So Halloween decorations going up yet? No, not really. Not at this point. Usually my stuff is bigger, and I don't want to put it out, especially now because I can't predict what the weather is going to do day to day. So usually when I do Halloween decorations, I put it up, a day or so beforehand. So what genre of music? I really like the stuff that Jordan uses on his, but obviously I don't want to ever rip him off on that. But yeah, something high energy, guitar driven, rock and roll, punk, something like that. Alternative, indie, lo-fi. It would have to be something where I can find like a little maybe 20 or 30-second segment of it that I could use. Because obviously, if you send me a 5 minute long song, I'm not going to do 5 minute intro on every one of them, because nobody's going to watch all that. But if it was something that I mean, look at the songs that Jordan uses, Cinnamon Block, and the other couple songs that he uses from the Connections. Those are good. Yeah, that made me laugh when I saw that picture. When I saw Byte and Nibble up on the shelf together a couple days ago, because I actually started panicking a little bit because I was looking everywhere and I couldn't find them in any of their usual places. And the food was gone. They'd eaten the food I'd left out, uh, and but they're usually both in the mid afternoon or so. They're usually both in the cat box in the closet, and they weren't there. And sometimes, they'll hide behind the TV. Sometimes they'll go under the lazy boy. Sometimes they'll be behind the couch. They've even been known to, they've even been known to like figure out how to open up cupboard doors, like in the kitchen, and go in there. I actually, when I lived in California, I actually had to put magnetic locks on all the floor level drawers because the cats would open up the door or go inside and hang out in there, and then I'd have to try and figure out where they were. And so I ended up stopping that by putting like little magnetic latches on them so they couldn't open them. Haven't run into that problem yet here because I think maybe they stopped trying when they realized they couldn't get them open anymore. Yeah, not so much a fan of the slower version of Friends, but I really like Sandful of Hand. That's a great song. Thought that was Jordan singing in the intro. Yeah, nope. Jordan actually had that guy on one of his vlogs once. You got to check it out. They ate much of the food. I had one of those refillable dishes where you put like a big, put food in the reservoir, and then as they eat it, more food falls out. They didn't empty that, but I had like 4 or 5 cat dishes spread all over the house, and they ate all of that. They came nowhere near. They came nowhere near running out of food, but I know that I can usually go away for about a week and they'll be fine. I don't want to go much longer than that though, because then there's a danger they're going to run out of food. Think I'll get other cats in the future? Ever since I met Jaw, I've been thinking I might go dog next time. Especially if I have a house, especially with one with a yard. It'd be fun to have a dog again. I haven't had a dog since I was a kid. Cats are sometimes easier to take care of because you can leave food out for them for an extended period of time. And do I leave the faucet dripping? No, but I got one of those big giant water dishes that has like a 5-gallon reservoir on it. So yeah, see, that was one of the problems. You can't really use one of the feeding stations for dogs because a dog will sit there and eat everything. Do I want a little dog like John? No, I've always been a big dog person. Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't be able to leave a dog that long. I'd probably either have to board it somewhere or find a neighbor to take care of it. No reply yet, but if my father finally found the live stream. Yeah, dogs are a lot of fun to take with you on trips too. That would maybe be a different thing. I do kind of like going camping sometimes, and it might be kind of fun to, bring a dog with you. You couldn't do that with a cat. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to go with 7 dogs, but you know, 1 or 2 would be fun. 2 would be good just because they can kind of keep each other company. I think dogs tend to be a little bit more sociable than cats do. I mean, cats are fine with want to be sociable with each other, but aren't necessarily as sociable with people. Yeah, occasionally you do get a cat that can travel well. I've heard cases of that. Oh yeah, definitely go get a rescue dog. The only dog I've ever had that wasn't a rescue was the first one. A friend of our family, their dog had puppies. We ended up with one of those, but we had a couple dogs after that, and one of them was a stray that kind of wandered into our front yard one day, and we sent him to the vet. I sent him to the pound in hopes that somebody would come and claim him. Well, no one ever did, and so we put a hold on him, and we took him home after like 3 or 4 days, and he was with us. And then when one of the dogs died, then we ended up going and getting another one at the pound. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of that. You know, the cat that I had before Bite and Nibble, he came from the pound too. And these two just kind of I inherited because somebody abandoned them in my yard, which is kind of sad. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of the same way. You know, these guys, I got these guys when they were 5 weeks old, and somebody abandoned them in my yard, and they've been with me ever since. And Byte just became the world's biggest house cat, world's biggest lap cat, didn't you? Yeah. Favorite thing in the world other than the kitty treats is the kitty brush, isn't it? Yeah. Never see Jaw do this, will you? He doesn't even want me to brush his back. He just wants it on his face. Yeah, you kind of do look like you're wearing a tuxedo, dude. Yeah, we weren't sure the Bite Nibble would make it. I took him to the vet immediately, and he said, "Yeah, no, you can probably wean him at this point. Just start feeding him dry food." And yeah, they did fine. Kept an eye on him. Yeah, yeah, I've heard of people walking cats on a harness, but you're right, they have to be trained to do it. And these guys have never worn a harness or a collar, so I don't think they'd like either of those things. Orca colors, yeah, I guess that is sort of what he has, almost like a yeah. He's funny too because he's mostly black on the top and he's like completely white on the bottom. So if you lay it on your back in the snow, nobody would even see it, right? You're gonna come up here and snuggle now, huh? Make me knock over the laptop. Is that what you're gonna do? See how that works? You won't put up with this for long, but you see he's giving the stink eye again, huh? That's a live stink eye right there. Yeah, you're my buddy, aren't you? And now you're gonna go walk away, stick your butt in my face, right? That's how it works. What's my choice for flea meds for cats? I've never used them. Bite and nibble, to my knowledge, I've never had a flea on them. They've always been indoor cats. Never had that problem. Yeah, that's it. He's my personal cat. Yeah, we've been pretty lucky, been able to keep them away from fleas. Never had a problem with that. Right? But I have problems with them sticking their tail in my face. Oh, see, that's what happened. He found the brush. See if we can brush him, bribe him to come up here. I'm hoping that my father will be able to come home on Monday, which is what we're hoping. I think the doctor kind of determined a couple days ago that, or a day or so ago, that it would be maybe a couple days, but they're not going to release him on a weekend. So Monday right now is, I think, our best bet. Yeah, yeah, we're ready to get him out too. He doesn't like being in the hospital. He gets stir crazy there. He told me when last weekend we when the physical therapist said that she wasn't going to be there for the weekend, she actually gave me permission to take him out and go walking because he really enjoys walking, and so that was one of the things he said. I think on Sunday, the last day I was there, is that this is the best part of his day is when he gets to go out and walk. So I was really happy to be able to do that for him. Yeah, I guess we all have a little depression from time to time. It's not really something I want to talk about. What kind of a dog would you get? Um, I don't know. I've always loved Rottweilers. I think they're beautiful dogs. Um, love German Shepherds. I've had a couple of Labrador Retrievers. First dog was a Collie Shepherd mix. She was beautiful, sweet little doggy. I miss her a lot. I miss them all. They were all great dogs. What's my next vlog? It's going to be a one of the mouse food vlogs where I do one of your recipes. That's coming up in looks like about 3 hours. Yeah, well, with any kind of dog, if it's trained well and doesn't have a jerk as an owner, it'll be a good dog. People say pit bulls have a really bad reputation, but uh, you know, if they're trained well, they're the most loyal dog in the world. It's the owner that's the problem, not the dog. By seeing the hiking trails near Waco, I got to admit, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of getting out and about just because it's really still kind of hot here. I might do some more outdoor stuff when it cools off a little bit. There's a really cool arboretum around here. I want to go visit at some point. I walked through it. I don't know, a few weeks ago, and halfway thought about vlogging it that day, but didn't, and ended up went and doing that cemetery vlog instead. But I do want to hit that place again at some point because it looks really nice, and it's got a few areas where you can hike around, and like I said, it'll be a nice it'll be a nice place to do when it cools off a little. Yeah, I heard with the Chip and Joanna were restoring that too. I saw like a artist drawing of it. Looks like it's going to be nice. Yeah, I think a lot of times the heat in Texas is just a matter of what you're used to. If like I said, I lived in California all my life, so it gets hot there too. So you kind of learn how to deal with it. And honestly, I've been just kind of staying in the air conditioning a lot. That helps a lot. I read somewhere which hotel it was, but like I said, I think it popped up on my timeline because I hear a lot of things about what's going on in Waco now for some strange reason, and I think I saw that on my timeline on Facebook yesterday. Looks like they're going to turn it into some kind of a restaurant or something. Yeah, 62 degrees. That sounds nice. I could use a little change. But see, just as soon as we get to the point where I'm tired of the hot, it's going to get cold here, and then maybe it'll switch again. There's a song about Waco, "Please Don't Blow Me Down." Is that some reference to the tornado a while back? Yeah, I haven't really done any travel vlogs yet. That's sort of Jordan's thing. But yeah, it might be kind of fun to hit that.
Wow.
I had to really laugh at this. I got this in the mail today. Disney, has a monthly magazine it puts out for its employees that you can get out. And apparently, they've decided now that I'm such a great former cast member that they've started mailing this to me now. I also got tickets in the mail for the holiday seasons. So I don't know. I don't even know if I'm eligible to go to that because sometimes you have to show your cast ID in order to use them. But I don't know. I'll have to check in on that. Maybe some point, I'll be able to go hit Disney again if I actually feel like doing that. Any leads on jobs? I got a few irons in the fire, but right now I'm just kind of playing it by ear, see what happens. Well, that's great. I'm glad that we can be here for you, Tim. Yeah, keep stopping in. Like I said, I try and do a live stream every week, and so far I'm up to 150 episodes, one almost every day. So we're doing pretty good on that. So appreciate you watching. Wow, Australia. You see, I was just talking today that I have to start doing like a live stream really early in the day for people in Asia and Australia because it's just, because it's got to be like the middle of the night for you now, right? Is it costly to fly from Waco? I haven't really looked that much into it, but what I've seen is that the airport in Waco seems to be more like a very like private airport. It's almost like you know small planes and maybe cargo versus actually passenger stuff. It doesn't look like there's actually any terminals. What job did I do at Disney? I actually did a vlog on that. I used to work on the parades at Disneyland. I was a float driver over at California Adventure. Just about any float that's been in the park in the last 10 years, I've driven at least once. Well, I'm glad to have you, Tim. It's good you're here, you know? Yeah, my mom's doing all right. I talked to her when I talked to my father. It was funny because I had to get some oil put in the car today, had the oil changed. And while I was doing that, I realized I hadn't heard from either my mom or dad in a couple days. So I called my mom on the phone and it went to voicemail. And I figured, okay, well, you know, she's kind of in a wheelchair, so sometimes she's a little slow getting around. So I called her back immediately, figuring, you know, because a lot of times she'll get to the phone right as it goes to voicemail. So, you know, if you call her back immediately, you know, sometimes, you know, you'll get her the second time. And it went to voicemail again. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to try calling my father. Well, that went to voicemail too. So I ended up calling my sister and talking to her for a little while. And then when I got done with that, I called my mom again. And it turned out the reason I couldn't get either of them was they were talking to each other. So they'd both seen that I'd called. And so my mom called me, and then my father called me, and he figured it out. And so I got a chance to talk to both of them today. They're doing their thing. Yep, it is 5:13 right now in Waco. So yeah, in about a little less than 3 hours, my next video will go up. Dollywood and Branson would be a heck of a commute from Waco. No, I'm really I really like the I really like Waco. I don't want to. If I'm going to move, I'm not going to move far. Oh, that's too bad, Jeff. I'm sorry about that. You know, prayers for your mom too. Your prayers have been so have been so instrumental for my father. We'll repeat them. You know, Jeff's mom was in a bad car accident last week, so you know, sounds like she did all right. But yeah, prayers for Jeff's mom. That's another thing too. I don't know if I'd ever want to work at another theme park. You know, working at Disney kind of ruined it for me. Yeah, I've thought about that, but I don't think my mom or dad would want to be on video at this point. You know, they've never really said anything, but you know, you can kind of tell. You know, I when I was in California the first time, you know, and did a live stream, I told my mom, hey, you know, you can be on if you like. No, I'm not really interested in that. I would be actually a little concerned about using the walking stick. It's so nice. I don't want to ruin it. But I don't know. Maybe someday I'll take it out. If I go visit that arboretum, maybe I'll, you know, take it along. The person who made it actually put like a little rubber pad on the bottom of it. So, you know, if it could be used to, you know, for actual hiking. But right now it's just so beautiful. I don't want to ruin it. And it makes such nice noise too. Yeah, it's weird how some accidents, you know, you walk away without an injury, and others, you know, can really can really hurt you. Actually, David, Terry was just on here a little bit ago. She said she's over 300 now. That's amazing. That blew me away. I was thinking about maybe a photo too. I halfway thought a couple times that there's like a family picture that that we took at my parents' 50th wedding anniversary a few years ago. That my mom, my dad, myself, my sister, her husband and her kids. And I halfway thought about doing that. And I guess I never really got to it. Maybe sometime. Thank you, Connie. Appreciate the thoughts, and I'm sure Jeff does too. Yeah, thoughts and prayers for Jeff's mom. That's tough. Yeah, Terry's an interesting individual. Oh yeah, we got all the paint off the car. That was good. Yeah, my friend did a good job on that. Yeah, I see it, Jeff. I'm watching. I think I'm maybe a little too much of an introvert for dating. I'm better dealing with people online. Not saying I wouldn't like to find somebody. It's just I tend to turn into all thumbs when I'm actually with somebody. We got a little bit of rain here a couple nights ago. It rained pretty hard for about 5 or 10 minutes, and it blew over. I've actually noticed that there's like two or three potential rain events in the next week or 10 days. So I got my fingers crossed. I hope so. We'll get a little bit. I hope. Yeah, I'm hoping maybe be a little easier here. Women are a little weird in California. Sometimes you get somebody who's a little bit more down to earth in a place like this. Yeah, I know. I hear a few people contact me from Australia. So I don't know how big of a following, but it's kind of cool to see people from all over the world. That's one of the things I can kind of look at the analytics and kind of see where people are from, and that allows me to tailor things to individuals. But yeah, I do plan on moving Flash here at some point. Yeah, I'm kind of watching that. We'll see what happens. Could be another troll. It's up to them. There's a weird comment, but sometimes that's just somebody makes a weird comment. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. But it's when it starts being multiple weird comments. So what happens is up to them. Yeah, well, I kind of have issues too. So, like I said, if it's just a single comment, we'll maybe let it slide, but we'll see what happens when it's multiple comments. Then you know what? I can always go get rid of them later. I don't know. Weird Talk might make this an interesting live stream. Some kids playing outside, and occasionally I think they throw something that hits the door or something. Byte's over there looking at the door. Yeah, maybe I am overly optimistic, but I don't. If it's just somebody that just wants to say something interesting or says something that comes off a little weird, I don't want to block them right off the bat. If it keeps coming up weird, then it isn't like the trolls that were happening earlier, where it was the same thing over and over and over again. I'm going to do house hunting early soon. I don't know. It depends on. I got to start with a job, and we'll see where it goes with that. I had to sign another 6 month lease, so I'm here at least until next summer. So we'll kind of see how we'll kind of play it by ear, see what happens. I've been looking around though for houses in the area just to kind of get an idea what the. It's funny out of the corner of my eye, I keep seeing a ball fly up in the air and come back down again. So kids are having fun out there. That's cool. But kind of looking around, just see what housing prices are in the area. It's really, really, really affordable stuff. I've seen some really nice houses that I could afford. Yeah, I haven't really looked at interest rates. I'll pay closer attention to that when we get close. But see, it shouldn't really be a factor with interest rates because I have the money that I got from my house, and I've just got that parked in a high interest savings account. So I'm actually hoping that when I get to the point where I'm ready to buy a house, I'm just going to be able to pay cash. And that'd be a real nice situation. That'll make it really easy to live too, because if I don't have a mortgage, if I don't have rent, that's half of my expenses right there. Yeah, well, they tried to pressure me into a 1 year lease, and I guess I could have gone a 6 month lease, or a 7 month lease, or a year lease. And if I do the year lease, then the rent is lower. But I don't want to be tied to this place for another year. I want to get into a house, as soon as possible. I'd like to just be able to tackle some projects that I can do that, I don't have to worry about, oh, I don't really want to spend money on this place. That's what's going on. There's a few things I could do around here, but I'm not going to spend a lot of money on this because there's nothing to it for me. There's no benefit for me doing it. Yeah, I'll spend a couple bucks on electrical outlet. Yeah, I'll spend $10 doing something else. Repairing that lamp out front. That I had everything I needed to do that. So that was just a matter of doing it. That was just a matter of taking the time. Yeah, well, that's sort of it. I would like to, if I have my own place, then any improvements I do, that just improves the quality of the house and the value of the house, and that's a good thing. Yeah, but see, the downside of renting is you're throwing your money away each month. If you buy a house, then you have the equity and all that. Yeah, Bweck. That's a new one. Yeah, you're just throwing your money away each month because all it does is it pays for the house for the rent, and you don't get anything out of it. You live in this place for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You got nothing to show for it. It's the advantage of a house is if you start off getting a good quality house to begin with relatively new appliances, then you won't have to start worrying. You won't have to worry about things like furnaces and stuff like that. And it turns out, a furnace isn't really that complicated of a thing. So, I had to deal with some furnace issues, before I could sell the house, and they were just things I could do myself. Houses are a lot more affordable here. Definitely less than half of what I sold mine for in California. I mean, even after realtor fees and paying off what I owed on the house and taxes and all that, I'm going to have enough money to buy a house outright here. So that's good. And you're right. I have pretty good mechanical sense and electrical sense. So if it's something that just needs some like repairs to make it look nice, um, I can do a lot of that stuff on my own, and it'll be a good subject for vlogs too. Yeah, I don't really want to do too much for this place. It's if they start giving me a discount on the rent or something like that, or paying me for stuff, then that'd be one thing. I don't know where in California you get even a small house for 300 to 400,000 dollars. It's 400 and up. I mean, maybe a cardboard box out in the middle of the desert somewhere with no plumbing. My dad taught me some of this stuff. A lot of stuff I learned just by trial and error, and I actually watched an appalling number of like home improvement type of shows, and so I learned how to do a lot of things just by watching that. But a lot of it was just trial and error. Yeah, that's true. I could probably learn some stuff from. Okay, all right, we've had enough of him. He said bye, but he doesn't seem like the one that's gonna do that. So we'll buy for him. Not anymore. He isn't. He's gone now. I don't know. I could tolerate a little of that, but when you just start making weird posts just for the point of it, whatever. You're gone. It isn't that hard to do. Yeah, yeah. It's a matter of what you can do. And I've actually started saying that on my videos. Uh, you know, Keep in mind what your skill level is. If you don't think you can tackle something like this, don't try it because you can make things worse. But thanks, Laura. I'm glad to be back home too. I think Byte's glad I'm back home too. You glad I'm home, Byte? Huh? Yeah? Was that a yeah? Or was that just a meow? Hmm? You glad I'm back home? I didn't make it into downtown this time. Um, my father was in the hospital, and I kind of that was about as far as I made it. Yeah, it was a couple $100 to park the car for the 8 days or so I was gone. But I was figuring that it would be at least that much to drive from Waco or to Uber from Waco to Dallas and back again. So I think if I was going to be gone much longer than that, I might have Ubered. But my experience is that I haven't Ubered to from Waco to Dallas yet, but it's about 100-mile drive, and I know that I was paying about $40 to go from my parents' house in Garden Grove to LAX, and that was 20 or 30 miles. So I'm just doing the math. It would probably be at least $100 each way. Was I glad to leave? I was more glad to be home. I mean, I kind of missed the kitties a little bit, so that was kind of the thing that limited everything. I could only be gone for so long. Well, if the cats had a house party, they didn't break anything, so that was good. You're right, Jeff. It is nice to just be able to hop in the car and go home. Well, like I said, you just got to remember what your limits are, Robin. If you don't feel comfortable doing electrical or plumbing, then yeah, don't do electrical or plumbing. The truth is, there's just some basic rules to those, and if you know what the rules are and you know kind of how to do things right, you know, you'll get it, you'll work it out. Yeah, but actually, I'm not sure what the deal is in terms of buying a new house within 9 months, because I can't imagine that California is going to allow me to take that much money out of the state without having their hands out saying, "Hey, we want some of that." I am talking to my brother-in-law though, and he's gonna when we get to the point where we're ready to talk about taxes, I'll have him get involved. My father always used to help with that, but he's got his own things to deal with right now, and I want him to focus on that. And I don't think he's got a lot of experience dealing with this much like capital gains. So I want to get somebody that knows specifically about dealing with this, so I don't end up giving Uncle Galvin any more money than I absolutely have to. You're saying I should do a cat cam video? Watch the cat sleep on the shelf all day? My mom really can't drive that much. She probably could drive. The problem is she has problems getting in and out of the car. And so, once she got into the car, she wouldn't be able to get out of it and back into her wheelchair. So, we got to find someone that can, help her with that. And she is talking to somebody, I think, right now about getting in-home care for her. That's going to be especially needed when my father comes home, because my father can't be, um, he can't be the primary caregiver anymore. Yeah, I totally understand, Jeff. Though, after being in the Middle East, I'd be glad to be home too. It's just 2 weeks. Okay, well, that's another. I guess when I think of someone going to the Middle East, I guess I'm thinking like, being deployed there or something. In a way, I sort of do have a troll cat that chases the trolls away. His name is Jordan the Lion. I ever seen any celebrities when I was at Disney? Not as many as you might think. Well, I used to do a show at Disneyland California Adventure uh, based on the cartoon show Phineas and Ferb. And on the last day we did that show, the guy who actually did the voice for, I think it was Phineas, was there watching the show. And he came to see us backstage at the end of it. I think that's probably the closest I ever came to seeing somebody famous over there. Actually, no, I saw John Lasseter once in Bugs Land. I'm not sure where Jordan is right now because his vlogs are often multiple days in advance. So especially when he goes on a trip like that, he'll shoot 3 or 4 vlogs a day and then come back and takes a break. So I don't know. I don't know exactly where he is right now. Yeah, I've been seeing that he did like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and stuff like that. Well, even if he said he couldn't go to one thing because he had to leave, that might just mean he was leaving from one place and going to another. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure where he is right now. Yeah, you're right. Jordan's the new Waldo. Got to get him a pair of glasses, a little poofball hat, and a red and white striped shirt. A couple of people suggested the President Bush libraries. I may do that at some point. It's always been kind of an issue. Is I'm trying to get people to watch, and for some strange reason, my field trip type vlogs just don't get the views that other things do. I'm still trying to figure out what it is that you guys like. But I'll go do something I think that I think would be a great vlog, and I'll come back and it goes live, and it's like everyone who posts and says they really loved it, but the views are 60% of what they normally are. So I don't know. When I get to the point where I have enough viewers that even if I have a disappointing view day, that you'll that I'm still getting enough viewers to kind of support myself, and maybe that'll be a little different. You're gonna come up here and take a bath in front of the video, in front of the camera? Is that really what you're gonna do? You're gonna bathe on camera? Jeez. Hmm? Is that how that works, huh? Why did I move to Waco? I knew I wanted to come to Texas, and I really seriously just looked at the map on Google Earth, and I saw I wanted to be kind of on the east side of the state because it's real green there, and that's so that kind of I didn't want to be on the west side because it was really deserty there, and so I kind of went on Google Maps and looked for places where it looked like there were big industrial areas, and I looked at Dallas and Fort Worth area, and I looked at a city called Longview, and I looked at Waco. And once I visited, then last January I came and visited, and just kind of fell in love with the feel of Waco, and this is where I decided I wanted to be. Thank you, Dandelion. I appreciate that. I appreciate any little bit. Every little bit helps. And I'm starting to get a little bit of money on the from the advertising revenue, so it helps when you guys watch. you know. Got a couple Patreons. We're doing that. Yeah, I don't know, Frank, if you heard, but my father did have a little bit of a setback earlier this week. Um, the day after he had his TIPS procedure, his blood pressure kind of went low again, and and they actually put him in the ICU for about 24 hours. Now he's back on just a ward bed. He had his own room before, and he's just in the ward now. So he's a little, doesn't really like that, being in a room with a bunch of other people. But he seems to be back on a mend again, and so we're hoping now at this point that he'll be able to go home early, maybe next week, maybe Monday. We're hoping. Thank you, Mistress Beats. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Thanks, PDXer. Yeah, my father appreciates the prayers too. I don't know if he's actually watched. Oh, I did get a text message. Let's see if he's watching now. No, he says I guess he hasn't been able to. He's tried several times and hasn't been able to do it. So I don't know what's going on this time. I mean, he has a little problem. Yeah, appreciate that, Greater Bill B. That you're keeping my dad in the thoughts and prayers. He appreciates that. Yeah, I read that story about Chip and Joanna too. Yeah, I'll have to go check it out at some point. See if it's anything interesting. We've been talking to my parents about that kind of thing, and they're really reluctant. They like to be independent and all that, but I think they're kind of slowly facing reality that they're going to have to do something. Do I have an Instagram? No, I didn't go onto Instagram. Yeah, I know. I see your comments a lot, Jeff. I appreciate that. You're definitely one of the regulars around here. I'm grateful for all of you. Yeah, I think my father is continuing to improve. Like I said, he had a little setback earlier this week, but he seems to be on the mend again. Do I know how to swim? Yes, I do. Yeah, it just seemed like another thing that's like, why would I go to Instagram? I'm already doing Facebook, and I don't really see any different advantage from that. I was on Twitter for a real short time either too, and I didn't like that. That's great, Leona. You don't have to comment. The most important thing is you watch. That's what happens. If you comment, that's great, but I appreciate all of the viewers.
Wow.
Do I have a cat growing out of the side of my head? I think I do. I have a cat growing out of the side of my head. What am I cooking for you tonight? You're going to have to tune in and see. Yeah, it never hurts to hit the like button. I've done some kayaking, not like whitewater stuff, but like just on flat water. Yeah, yeah. My parents have that life alert thing, so that's a good thing for them. In fact, there was kind of a funny story. Uh, one of the last nights I was there, the life alert thing. There's like a little thing on your wrist. It's like a wristwatch, and my mom had hers on, and I guess the button is normally on the top, but she had the wristwatch thing a little loose, and at one point it turned around and the button was on the bottom, and she set her arm down on her wheelchair and ended up pressing the button. And that was a lot of fun because, immediately the main base station goes off and it makes this loud, piercing sound. And, we knew immediately what had happened. And I went up there and there's like a cancel button on the main base station. I pushed that just to say it was a mistake. But like a minute later, the operator came on and we had to confirm that we were real, that there was nothing wrong, and answer a bunch of security questions because I guess they assumed that if there's an emergency and then it gets canceled, that maybe that's like a hostage situation or something like that, and they have to verify that. But holy cow, that thing is loud. And apparently, it wasn't even as loud as it could go. But I think they got the thing set up. You know, the they got the thing set up so that it could be heard anywhere in the house. And I guess the microphone is so sensitive also that if you're like in the back of the house, that you can still talk to the operator. So I guess it's a good thing. Thanks, Jeff, for stopping in. I hope your mother feels better. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for fall to kick in here. It's still a little too warm for that. Yeah, definitely do that. Everyone's pulling for your mom, Jeff. No, I wouldn't mind a little frost right now. I'd definitely trade that for 92 degrees. Do I ever go to the movies? Not as much as I used to. I used to go to the movies like every weekend and like spend a whole day in the movie theater. But when I bought a house, it's just like that became the priority. Yeah, I hear you about there being a little too much drama in on social media sometimes. I think a lot of times when you can talk to people anonymously, it it encourages some people just to be rude because you're not going to be able to figure out who they are. Yeah, unfortunately, it isn't enough to post positive things because you get some idiot that comes in and just wants to be an idiot. I don't know. I guess if you post just positive things and then keep everything limited just to your friends, and to people then maybe that's good. See, that's sort of why I had to kind of close the gates on my Facebook page, a couple weeks ago, is because it was starting to get to the point where it was too hard to separate the Facebook and the YouTube stuff, and I needed the ability to be able to share things with family and friends that maybe I didn't want the whole world to get a hold of. What do the cats do when a fire truck goes by with a siren on? I don't know. Really hasn't ever been that much of an issue. I'm not sure that there's ever been a fire truck close enough to him with a siren on for him to be aware of what's going on. So I don't know if I have an answer to that. Yeah, that's true, Kel girl. You have to try and keep you keep yourself separate from certain things. I mean, I don't know if you were here. I think you were here earlier when we had one troll after another after another after another. As the same person that get blocked on one account and then go on to the next one and start making the same stupid statements. You get to the point by you don't want those people knowing too much about you. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Delete them and block them. Okay. Yeah, you missed that then. Well, you didn't really miss a whole lot. It happened like in the first 15 minutes, but it was the same guy that had like 5 different accounts, and I'd I'd block one, and then a minute later you'd log in with another one and start with the same nonsense. Yeah, I mean, I have political opinions, but I don't want it here. I'm not to the point where I can say, hey, I want to lose half of you as viewers. It isn't worth it. Hi, Jen. Glad you stopped in. Yeah, we're almost done with this. My father had a little bit of a setback earlier this week. Day after his TIPS procedure, his blood pressure went low again, and they actually put him in ICU for about 24 hours. But he's kind of bouncing back now. So, I think they delayed him going home a little bit. They still want to try and figure out what's going on. But I think he's on the mend again. We're hoping he'll be able to go home early next week. Yeah, well, and in today's world where people are so extreme on one side or the other with politics, they'll if they don't like you, if they don't like one thing about your political views, they'll they'll all they'll stop watching you, or they get really nasty with you, and it's like I don't need that. I don't want to lose half of my subscribers. I like all of you guys, except the trolls, and I want to deal with them one by one. Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate that. Yeah, you can use all the help you can get right now. Yeah, I enjoyed being the Halloween man, and yeah, it's all in storage. In fact, when I packed up the storage locker, when I came across Halloween stuff, I put it all right there in the front. So if I do get to the point where I can do Halloween this year, I know where the good stuff is. So yeah, if I'm not working by that point, then we'll do Halloween this year. I don't know how much I'll be able to cover it because I don't really want to do a whole bunch of video out front. That might help people figure out where I live. There's enough people out there that might do something like that. Politics is professional wrestling. Yeah, only more fake. Yeah, I think the kiddies don't have a lot of experience with leaf blowers or fire trucks or any of that. But you turn on the lawn, or you turn on the vacuum cleaner, and they're gone. It's like one of those Roadrunner videos where it's just 1 second he's there and the next second he's gone, and there's just a cloud of smoke shaped like the Roadrunner. Yeah, that's Byte when the vacuum goes on. Well, we're trying to do that PDX. There's no politics here. You'll never get any of that from me. Like I said, I have opinions on subjects, but I don't share that here. I like all of you, and I want you to all keep watching. That's cool. That's what we're here for, PDXer. Just to have some fun. Yeah, and I'm not going to fall for it. I know you're a lot of people trying to get me to take a position on one side or the other, and it's like, uh, yeah, I don't. I just don't want to go there. It's kind of a break for me too to get away from it. When your loud barks, the cat runs and hides. Yeah, well, Bite and Nibble did that with Jaw, so yeah, that's kind of the same way I feel, Todd. Well, when you're talking about politics, it's sort of like talking about religion. How do you say that your religion is wrong, that what you believe is wrong? You can't. It's all opinion, it's all subjective. So all you're doing is just talking past each other and usually trying to shout each other down. It just doesn't go anywhere. It has no place in something like this. Yeah, I've seen some of those electric jack-o'-lanterns in Home Depot. Yeah, my God is better than your God. Well, how do you know? I don't know. When is my next cooking video? In about 2 hours. Yeah, check tonight because I did another one of the mouse food videos today. Another one that got posted. I did it a couple days ago, but it gets posted tonight. So, yeah, put on your apron. We're ready to go again. Yeah, that haunted hotels. That might actually be kind of fun. Go spend the night in a haunted hotel. Actually, talking about it's making me a little bit hungry. Like I said, I did it a couple days ago, and when I usually make something that somebody has sent in, I usually make a lot of it so that you know when you so that when so I can eat it for a few days in a row, and so I've got a little bit of that of what I made that you're going to see tonight left over because I think I got like I don't know 7 or 8 servings out of it. So plus the fact I did a restaurant review vlog today, so I ate a big breakfast. So I don't know. Maybe we'll go for something light. Maybe I'll just go have that lemon orzo soup. I still got a whole bunch of that left over. That was the first mouse food one I did a couple weeks ago, right before I went back to California. Oh yeah, I love tuna. Tuna's great. Yeah, that was actually one of the reasons I made that lemon orzo and chicken soup is because it sounded like it was a really healthy thing. Pizza sounds good though too. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. That's maybe one of those things that we're gonna have to stop talking about too. I'm making everybody hungry here. Love sushi. Yeah, yeah. We when we were driving out here, Jordan and I hit a couple of Texas Chainsaw Massacre sites. Both the gas station and the house still exist. The gas station, you can actually go in, and they've got like some little cottages in the back, and you can spend the night in there. And then the house has been turned into like a restaurant, and they're both here in Texas. Jordan vlogged both of them. You have to check them out. That was part of our trip to Texas back in May. Sounds like maybe you had bad sushi then. I've never had a bad. I've never had bad sushi, but sushi is one of those things you gotta make sure it's done quality because anyone if they don't do it right, it can go bad real fast. Yeah, I seem to have a cat growing out of my shoulder again. Yeah, you got anything you want to say? Huh? Or are you just here for the kitty treats again? That's what it is. You're just a pig, aren't you? That's what it is, isn't it? You only love me when I'm dishing the kitty treats, right? Yeah, he's my buddy. Yeah, there's definitely a connection between horseradish and wasabi. It's funny because I went to a restaurant with my mom one night when I was there and called Panera Bread, and they had a sandwich that sounded really good, and I didn't really get a chance to read the ingredients, and there was something really familiar with it, and I kept thinking it tastes like sushi, it tastes like wasabi, and then I started looking at the menu, and it's like, oh, it's horseradish. That's why. That's what it was I was tasting. I know I get I know that every time I turn on YouTube, I get asked if I want to subscribe to YouTube TV. Haven't done so yet. Yeah, yeah. There isn't any chicken in sushi, and definitely not fried chicken. Yeah, I like horseradish and wasabi too. In fact, when I get sushi, that's my biggest gripe is that I don't ever is that they don't ever include enough wasabi. So I actually got a little tube of it. It comes in like a little tube, like toothpaste, so that I can have enough wasabi when I get it. Yeah, the wasabi I bought wasn't terribly expensive. Like I said, it came in a little tube, like a little toothpaste tube, and you just kind of squeeze it out as you need it. Do I watch any other vloggers besides Jordan? No, not really. I've watched Adam the Woo a few times. I've watched Justin Scard a couple of times. Justin Scard's a little too high energy for me. It's funny. I met Adam and Carpetbagger once. We went with Jordan to eat at a taco truck in Hollywood one time, and it's funny because I've never even watched Carpetbagger's videos, but I've seen Adam. I enjoy Adam. This is they're a little superficial. One of the reasons I like Jordan so much is is because I learned something, even if it's a subject I don't know anything about and I'm not interested in. I can watch it and say, okay, well, that's at least interesting to know, or that was interesting to see, or something like that, because he does so much, research on whatever subject matter he does. That's one of the things I've always noticed about, Adam, is he'll go someplace and say, oh, look at that, that's interesting. Oh, look at that, that's interesting, but he won't tell you anything about it. Jordan, he does. He knows what he's talking about, and he does his research. So you're going to learn something about that. Well, Jordan actually started becoming a vlogger because he became a fan of Adam's. I don't know how much if you knew about that, but yeah, that's actually what started it. Jordan started watching, watching Adam, and that's what inspired him to start doing it. And so, he was thrilled when he got to meet him the first time. I mean, Adam may do, a few things where, he says, okay, when he's doing like a movie location and setting up shots, he'll do his research from that point of view. But, Jordan goes in and, if he's doing a vlog about an actor or someone like that, he's, constantly watching, other videos, or looking online, or finding interviews or something like that, to get the key pieces of information he can share. I've never seen Adam do that. Yeah, Adam, when he goes and sets up, finds filming locations or something like that, he does a good job on that, and he does his research that. But it's a different level of research than what Jordan does. Yeah. Jordan, as long as I've known him, Jordan was into the golden age of Hollywood. Because he was always a fan of the early stars, Clark Gable especially. He had Clark Gable posters in his house, and when I first met him, when he was when he just come here from Ohio, when he just got to when he had just gotten to LA. So it looks like we've been going for a little bit more than 2 hours here, and all this talk about food is making me hungry. So I think I'm going to cut it off here. Thank you, as always, for watching, and we'll see you next time, maybe hopefully next week on another live stream. In the meantime, I'll have a new video, a mouse food video, coming up in about an hour and 50 minutes, and I hope you enjoy that one. So thank you, everyone. See you next time.